Hi everyone, welcome to Wendy Speaks. I am your host D. First, let me just say thank you. Thank you for taking out time of your day, to be here. I know life is busy, you've got things to do, but somehow you've decided to spend some time listening to me talk today. And this means a lot to me, and I just want to say thank you. Wendy Speaks is a space for real conversations. We're going to be talking about adulthood, the parts that nobody really prepares you for. We'll be talking about work, relationship, personal growth, resilience, and how to actually build a life that makes sense instead of just reacting to whatever is happening around you. We're not going to be stating theories or trying to prove points. We are not here for motivation, even that does sound good, but it doesn't really work. We're here because life is real and it is hard, and you need someone to actually talk about it honestly. So, if you're still figuring things out, if you're still finding your footing, if you're still struggling, even if you're winning and you want to win better, then the space is for you. If you hear what resonates with you, do me a favor, like, share, follow, comment, and share it with someone that you love. Send it to that friend who needs to hear this. Post it in your group chats. You know, let's just grow together. Now, let's dive into today's episode. Yo, welcome back to Wendy Speaks. I'm D, your host, and today's episode is for you. If you're fresh out of the university, if you're about to start NYC, or you're currently even wearing that green khaki right now. That beautiful khaki. Someone said that if the NYC khaki doesn't fit you, then you're not fine after all. We're talking about the National Youth Service Corps, Nigeria's NYSC. And I'm not going to romanticize it. I'm not going to talk about the fun orientation camp or the drama of your, PPA. I'm going to tell you the truth that nobody really tells you. NYC is a waiting room, and if you just sit in it and wait, the labor market will absolutely chew you and spit you out. Right? That's the reality. Alright, so I did NYC Nigeria obviously. So I've watched so many people I went through school also go through with it. I've worked with people, that have also had the same experience, and I see the same pattern over and over and over again. We finished, university. We're supposed to like hot now, a degree hotter than right? And then we've got our degree, we did well in school, and we are ready to change the world. Um, but then now we're not going to get hired obviously immediately. We are pushed to start NYC. We get posted to some local government office somewhere, and those of us that have our way walk it down to a city, walk it down to your dream city or back to your home base. All right, the allawee is hilarious. um, the money cannot really manage the cost of living in the country, let alone for people who are posted to new environments, right? So it's very very laughable. It's not actually enough to live on. Everyone is complaining about how much the year sucks, and they just want to give up. They just want to sign out and be done for it. But then I also know people who spend their entire service year basically in a waiting room, playing it video games, scrolling social media, watching Netflix, telling themselves story like, well, I did have my time, I have my degree, you know, I'm about to get my NYC certificates and employers are going to hire me. So they just, hold on to all those things and just wait. And then they pass out, the khaki comes off, and then they go into the job hunting phase, and nobody calls, they don't get no offer, or they get offers with terrible pay and very crazy work conditions. Then they become confused. They are like, wait, I have my degree, I have my NYC certificate, why is no one taking me serious? And here's the brutal part: because the labor market does not really care about your NYSC certificate at all. That American corporation that's considering to hire you, they don't even know what NYSC is, and they don't really care. What they care about is, can you really solve the problem? Do you have the skills that make you valuable? Do you have a track record of doing good work? And if you spent your service year doing nothing, you automatically have nothing to show them. So here's what I realized. A lot of us look at NYC as a punishment. You'll be like, oh, I have to do this mandatory, service year. It's so unfair, losing a year of my life. You'll probably even be posted to somewhere far from your friends and your families. But that's a, totally wrong frame of way to look at it. The right frame is that NYC is the most privileged position you would ever be as a young person. Think about it. You have a basic income. Obviously, we know that it's not much, but it's something. You have, theoretically, you have a flexible schedule. Most corp members don't really work 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, which means you have time. And you don't have the full weight of adulthood or adult financial responsibility yet. Well, that's if you are not serving in, in another state. Maybe they posted you to another state, or you go do adulthood, or you buy mattress, you buy this, right? But apart from all those, that period, where you have basic income, where you have a flexible schedule, you have some form of time, you don't have the full weight of an adult responsibility yet, that period is an incubator, right? That's literally what people pay money for. They pay for accelerated programs, right? That period, boot camps, educational opportunities where you have the time and basic resources to build something. But so many people waste it because they are focused on the wrong thing. They are focused on how bad PPA is, on how unfair the system is, on how much the allawee really sucks. And while all of that is actually true, but it is also irrelevant in your actual future. Your service year is not about your PPA, it's not about the allawee. It's about the fact that you have 1 year where you can invest heavily in yourself without starving. That's actually a gift. That's literally what you need to build a globally competitive skill set. Okay, so if you're in your service year or you're just about to start, here's exactly what you need to do. You need to first stop treating your PPA as your job. The actual job during your NYSC is to build your skills and your network. Your PPA is just where you happen to be physically. That's not the same thing. So you show up, you do the work they gave you, you show respect, you're professional, but you are not going to pretend that signing a book at the government office is actually your real work. It's not, obviously. That's just the thing keeping you grounded in one location. Second, you have to get on your laptop and actually learn something. Like seriously, take an online course and enroll in a boot camp, learn something that's actually, demanded globally. If you want to be a designer, there are free and paid resources online. Learn how to use Figma, build a portfolio. By the end of service year, you should have 10 projects that you can show, or even more. If you want to be in tech, learn code, learn data analytics, or learn project management. There are legitimate online programs that you can, some are free, some are paid, but they are very affordable. They will teach you real skills. If you want to be in business, start a side project. It could be drop shipping, e-commerce, content creation, whatever. The point is, you are building evidence that you can actually, show that you create value. Third, apply for remote internships with international companies. I'm serious, not some Abuja based company that's going to waste your time. I'm talking about companies in the US, in the Europe, in the Australia, companies that have global reach and global standards. I know obviously it's not easy. I've applied for so many. Alright, competition is fierce, but you might not get it on the first try. But if you spend your service year just applying, learning, building your CV and your portfolio, improving your interview skills, by the time you get to month 9, or 10, someone is eventually going to say yes, and suddenly you're getting paid, in other currencies. You're building international experience, you're learning global standards. That basically changes everything. And when you come out on the other side of NYSC, you are not coming out just as another fresh graduate with a certificate. You are coming out with skills, with international experience, with a network, maybe even with an offer from an international company already lined up, right? Fourth, you need to build your LinkedIn profile like your life depends on it, because it actually does. Post about what you are learning, share insights, document your journey, put yourself out there. When companies are hiring, they check your online presence. They're checking to see if you're actually serious. They want to see if you have something to say. So if your LinkedIn looks like you've just been existing for the past years, that's what they'll actually think. Right. Next, you need to find people who are doing what you are doing and learn from them. Send cold DMs to people, send them emails, ask for 30 minutes of their time, learn from their mistakes, learn what worked for them, what didn't. A lot of us think we have to figure out everything alone, but the internet gives you access to literally anyone. Use that to your advantage. And the last one is, stop telling yourself that you are wasting time. You are not, obviously. You are investing in yourself, you are building, during your service year. And that is actually when you have safety and when you have time. You are setting yourself up to be, to be different from the mediocres and your colleagues who spend their time in the waiting room. You're setting yourself up to be unemployable to mediocre companies and highly sought after by real companies. You're not wasting a year. That's playing chess while everyone is playing checkers. Right? The people who treat it as a waiting room, they come out asking why nobody is hiring them. But you get to choose which that you are, right? That's when this speaks today. I'll catch you on the next episode. Thank you.